What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And of course, Grand Party is out. I want to make this video before I head off to bed tonight, just to make sure that everyone remembers that Grand Party is up. I know that, you know, things haven't been great in the Treasure Cruise space recently. I know a lot of people are kind of zoning out, but still, you know, log in, get your daily stuff done, make sure you're doing your Grand Party, at least get that done. You know, at least the earlier days are very, very easy to do it. Even if you don't want to play, you can just skip through the matches and stuff. Maybe you'll win a couple games. Who knows, right? So, let's jump into this. I'm going to do like a live recording. I haven't done a live recording for Grand Party in actually quite a while. So, give you guys a quick rundown in terms of my thought process as I go through this. I obviously like to get the wins as easily as I possibly can. This one, it looks like a very, very easy win. So, we're just going to go ahead and challenge this one. We're just going to go with this. This is the current team that I have at the moment. Don't know if it's what I'm going to be sticking with throughout the rest of the season, but it's what I thought would be actually kind of fun, considering the rule set this season where, you know, strength and int receive buffs, so int's going to be very good this season, but quick characters have defense down. That's the only real debuff you kind of have to worry about, so I feel like this one, you know, going up against pretty much a random team, I don't feel very threatened at all by this one. Side characters also receive level 5 CT speed increase, so that's pretty insane. Side characters are going to be very good this season as well, especially if you were able to get your hands on the new Impact or Galaxy Impact Garb. Very, very good character for side teams in general, and if you're running a side team, then that would be fantastic. I think that if I did have my own version of Garb, I probably would run this team for Sai, and then probably take out Shanks, put in Garb instead, and then if you put in Garb instead of Shanks, then the Yasop on the team doesn't need to be here. Yasop is literally only here because it gives Shanks additional special CT for having another one of his crew members on the team. Literally the only reason why we do that. And then we go with the S-Bear, doing pretty decent damage. 20 CT for his special is pretty absurd, actually. And considering the fact that we have such high special CT on side this season, he's going to be able to launch his special really quickly, and then being able to force something out could be really, really beneficial for your squad. Shanks is really solid, actually. He just targets basically everything, and especially when the time is less than 50 seconds remaining, he just hits even harder. So Shanks is a pretty good unit, and especially if you do have one of his characters on one of the redhead pirates on the crew, being able to get additional special CT for him, so he's able to launch his special very, very quickly. I still think V2 Odin is a really, really solid unit as well. He's just super good. We don't really need to sit here through this. We can just skip this. We don't even need to talk about this. I mean, this is going to be a pretty easy one. We'll at least try and find a somewhat of a difficult matchup in this video to at least give us some kind of something to go off of, you know. But this one should be pretty straightforward. So this int team, I'm not 100% certain if this is what I'm going to go with for int this season. I think this team will be very good, but is it going to be the most optimal way forward? I have no idea. So many stats for this int team though this season, especially because we're using Luffy as our leader. A lot of the characters on this team are just like ultra buffed, so yeah, this is going to be nice. Even though the opponent does have Wano Law, which can debuff our Powerhouse and Driven characters, I mean, it's still not really that big of a deal. I mean, Blackbeard still has level 10 special CT increase, despite my opponent having Law. Like, that's crazy, right? And Blackbeard, when he's able to launch his special, being able to debuff the opponents and then also inflicting that level 10 damage over time. That damage over time is no joke. Like, I gotta say, like, that damage over time is absolutely bonkers. So there's that damage over time to 3 of those units. So if those units go to attack, there's nearly 10,000 damage, and damage over time is crazy, crazy, crazy good. And then our S-Hawk gets the launch. Pick up a triple kill. Luffy's gonna launch. Should kill everything. Okay, well, Kuzan's just chilling at the back by himself, not being touched. You absolutely love to see it. Absolutely hate it when it happens. But this is looking pretty good. I like the stat line that our characters have. They got like a moderate special CT increase. Defense is looking solid. The speed's looking actually very, very good. Just the stats across the board for this int team look really good. So I'm kind of happy with this one at the moment. Oiran Yamato is the one character that I am not sure if I'm going to keep on the team or not. I'm really happy with the rest of the squad. Not sure if I'm going to keep Yamato. I could replace Yamato with Gecko Moria, and if I do that, then I could take off your Rogue off the bench for like Smoker, Rumble Rare Recruit Smoker, All of those are valid options. We can skip through this. I mean, we're going to win off that anyway, so that's good. We'll go ahead and move on to the final game of this match, which, actually, no, that's it. We just won. We won 2 times. I forgot how Grand Party works. It's only been a month. Alright, sweet. So we pick up the dub. We love to see that. Let's go ahead and move on to match number 2. Maybe we'll find a little bit more of a difficult opponent this time. Maybe someone with an actually pre-built team. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, this one looks a little bit more challenging for sure. Yeah, this is definitely a more challenging team. Yeah, that one's going to be challenging for sure. And we've got Psy Gear 5, who that could also be an interesting matchup for us. Slashers are still kind of scary to go up against. I'm kind of surprised that this season they decided not to really give many debuffs at all. It's genuinely surprising. I'm thinking about going with this. No, this one looks kind of sketch too. I know, maybe this bottom team. Let's do this, and that top team is anti-Psy, so we won't do that. We could run our Free Spirit against it and see how it goes. And then we'll go Psy versus that, Int versus that. What's their Psy team looking like again? Just to double check. Yeah, it's pretty annoying, but we'll see. Let's give it a shot. The thing is the Gear 5 burst skills are just so strong that if we can get that to launch, that would be great. So realistically, what we should have done is probably taken a bit of a weaker matchup. I probably should have just run Psy against this, which would make our burst skill have a much higher chance to launch. And Mazoru getting the level 10 defense decrease could be a bit of a problem. I did overlook that. It should be okay, though. We should be fine. Especially once Zoro ends up using his special, he gets pretty good defenses off of that alone. We don't have any side characters on our team, so characters like Rogue and Apu are not really going to be doing too much. So the only things I am kind of worried about is Yamato on the bench. That's the only character that I'm actually threatened by. That character can hit pretty hard. Kid can hit pretty hard. Smoker is also annoying. The rest of them, I'm not that concerned about. I mean, yes, special CT decrease obviously sucks from Katakuri, but I think we'll be okay. Okay, Scratchman Apu doing what he does. It is annoying that they are using all their specials so quickly, but we will be able to go ahead and use Nami Karina here, which is obviously one of the best characters in Pyro Rumble. So, you know, debuffing Rogue is kind of annoying because the character that actually causes the most problem is Apu. As long as we're able to stay alive, and I think this is going to be a bit more of a stall here. Especially when Luffy and Yamato are able to launch their special for the second time, when the timer is less than 50 seconds, that's where it kind of counts. It's good that Sanji ends up going last out of all the characters here so that he can actually use the special CT buff. This team is actually pretty well built, and this team that we're going up against a side team would actually be pretty successful, I think. I really wish I actually pulled Legend Apu. I've never pulled him. I really wish I could get him because he definitely helps in these in setups. Another Nami Karina special would be great here, but unfortunately for us, that pudding is putting in a lot of work on my opponent's side of the field. I mean, that Rogue just is going to give him buffs. It's not really going to do much. Yeah, this is kind of... At least Apu won't be able to launch his special quite yet. He's going to get double debuffed, I think. Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of good. And then Luffy and Yamato would get the double hit. And then the damage through defense, which is pretty big. His burst skill is ready, which is concerning. He does use it straight away. That sucks. Oh my god, that's so much damage. I think I actually kind of have to use my burst skill to counter his. I felt like I kind of had to do it. Oh, this is really scary. I really need my characters to come off the force out. Please. 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 Oh my god, this is so sketchy. There we go. Okay. He's already used burst back. I'm just going to skip it. Okay, we got it. We got the win. Though my opponent does have their burst skill, and they only do have one burst skill left, meaning that we will have our burst skill left over as well. So they're going to use their burst, which means they're probably going to win this matchup. We could go side versus side, but I feel confident with my team. So I'm going to go with this. He's going to use his burst skill straight away. Obviously a bad thing. Which means that we are going to be pretty heavily debuffed. We've got some characters that are going to be forced out. Obviously, all of that sucks. I think normally, the int team should be pretty successful here. This team is almost identical to my own int team that I'll be using in the third match, because there's no way we're winning this one. Unless if something crazy happens, but no way we're winning this. Okay, we do have our burst skill ready to go, which is good. So Esper got knocked out, Rebecca comes in, Shanks is dead. I mean, yeah, this is really bad. But I mean, what do you expect? Using that burst skill straight off the cuff is really, really rough. But the cool thing is that we kind of get to do the same thing against our opponents. So that's really, really cool. So when we jump into the next game, I'm probably going to use my burst skill straight away, which is going to put my opponent on the back foot straight away. I think we can just go ahead and skip this because I'm not going to use my burst skill. Yeah, we didn't even knock out any of the opponents. So we're going to try the exact same strat against the opponents. My opponent isn't running like a lot of free spirit characters on this side of the field for their initial matchup. They've got Lore, of course, which we can get rid of them. I can't remember who else was on their front line. I think they had characters like Enel and Gin. Who else was there? Sanji as well. He's free spirit, I believe. And Esper. Hopefully they haven't got too much investment. So we're going to use Luffy straight away. Very similar to what they did against us. Their bench is kind of scary though with Yamato and Shanks, but Shanks won't have the special buff because he doesn't have another redhead pirate. So let's go ahead and use Luffy straight away. Bro, that's such a strong burst skill, dude. It's so strong. And hopefully this gets us a little bit more advantage here to get our specials up, because Log did get forced out, so I don't believe his Rumble ability is active right now, meaning that we do get a lot of special CT. So he is back, so that does debuff our team once again, but Blackbeard is pretty much ready to go, so this is kind of clutch. Esper coming up is so annoying. And he got rid of Blackbeard, dude, that's so frustrating. I think he targets a character with high special CT anyway, but like that's like super frustrating. Luffy is unfortunately not going to go, and they're Yamato. Dude, this is like so unlucky. Okay, Blackbeard comes in, but I mean... So Yamato will do slightly less damage, but it's so annoying that Bonnie wasn't able to go right before Yamato was able to launch. Okay, so those characters getting debuffed, especially Sanji is really good to get debuffed. S-Hawk did not get affected by the half stats, so that's massive for us, and we're just going to win off of this, I think. Debuffs from Yamato. Boom. Yeah, we win. We can just skip it. Whew. Okay, that was a little sketchy, but yeah, we basically had to take an L on one of the games just to ensure that we got the guaranteed dub on the other game. And that's a strat that I think a lot of people don't try and utilize. You shouldn't have to try and win every single game, because, you know, situations like that, you know. Anyway, we got one more to get. We got one more game to win. Let's jump into our third match of the day, and see what we can find. What do we get this time? Let's pick up an easy one. That was really stressful. This is technically not an easy one. Slash is obviously a bit of an issue. We don't want to really go for them. This one, the Dex team, I feel comfortable taking on. The Int team doesn't look super threatening, actually. That Slasher team obviously looks like a bit of a problem. Okay, that's kind of annoying. This top team, Dex team looks pretty straightforward. Int team doesn't look super threatening. And the side team is pretty good. I don't know which one I actually kind of like. I feel like if we go up against this one, the Slasher team is going to dominate us, and then he's going to get his burst. I'm probably going to get my burst. The second game, we should do okay, and then the third game, it would kind of come down to the wire. It's looking pretty sketch either way. I feel like a more comfortable thing to do here is just to reset, get a new pairings. Int Luffy's everywhere, of course. I don't really want to go up against another Int Luffy. I did not like it. Alright, what do we got here? We got a Magellan. Yeah, this is looking pretty easy, so these are guaranteed dubs. Another guaranteed dub here with Hina. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with this one. This one just looks a lot easier, so we'll just go up against that. Let's start with the side team first. The side team is the fastest team that we have, and then we'll go with Int. And then that should be pretty much it. So yeah, look. We'll see what happens this season. You know, this season is going to be very interesting to see what happens, considering the fact that not a lot of things are debuffed, but there are a lot of buffs flying around. Strength and Int, getting that defense buff is going to make them more tanky. Side characters, special CT at level 5, gonna make them more threatening as well. Fighters and slashers receiving HP increase. The fighters obviously doesn't matter as much. Obviously, there's going to be some key characters that will get buffs because of that. But then you've got like the slashers receiving HP buff. I think that's actually kind of big. Strikers and shooters receiving level 10 attack up. For shooters, that's honestly a good thing because shooters need all the help that they can get. Strikers, on the other hand, that obviously could be a good thing. Characters like Roger and Newgate, they'll get a level 10 attack increase because of that, which is kind of wild. And then powerhouse characters getting a speed increase is kind of clutch as well, especially like the int team with characters such as Blackbeard and the int Luffy being powerhouse getting the speed increase, as well as them being int getting the defense increase. Plus, you know, Luffy is a fighter, so he gets an HP increase. So that int Luffy is like ultra buffed this season in a lot of ways. We can just go ahead and skip this. There's just no way we lose these. These are super easy victories. And if you do opt to use an int slasher or an int striker as your grand party leader, then you get extra bursts or launch requirement reductions. But let's be real here, you pretty much should be using Psy Gear 5, int Gear 5, something along those lines. There are a couple of like other characters you could potentially use as grand party leaders. That could be another dedicated video that we could make, talking about like what are the best grand party leaders that you should be aiming to get, because some of the ones that are outside of like the obvious ones are actually still pretty good. Characters like Roger and Newgate actually still have a pretty good burst skill. Who else? Like int Uta is somewhat usable. I think quick Uta is somewhat usable in a way. I know that the new Garp that came out recently, I think his burst skill I think is also kind of somewhat usable as well. I kind of wish I did have the Garp just to test him out in Grand Party as a leader, because I do think that he seems kind of solid. Let's go ahead and skip this because there's no way we lose this. Yeah, we're good. We Gucci. But that's pretty much it, guys. We are done with day number 1 of Grand Party. Of course, before we wrap up the video, let's go ahead and change our Grand Party leader, because remember, whatever your last team that you just beat your final match in is the team that everyone is going to go ahead and see. So if you edit this team here, you will make it easier for other people to win. So you can't just switch to a new team. That's not going to work. You have to edit your current team. So I'm just going to go ahead and change my leader to this strength law, so people don't have to deal with the Gear 5 leader. So of course it's not like an ultra easy way to make people get like free wins. You can edit your own team if you want to do that. I'm not going to do that. I typically do it after day 4 and day 5, but that's how we're going to go ahead and do it today. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Good luck on your Grand Party matches this season. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.